While we're on the topic of Kim, Kanye, and Taylor, let's just revisit this, shall we? Taylor called this one of the most psychologically traumatizing times of her life, being called a bitch. I'm sorry, what? Okay. All right. So after this whole feud came out with Kim, Kanye, and Taylor, first we got Tree Paine. Now they've shifted their PR approach. Now they just don't say anything. They used to be a little bit cheekier and go back and forth. Tree thought she was really clever with that. So this post here is, I'm Taylor's publicist, and this is my unedited statement below. By the way, when you take parts out, that's editing. P.S. Who did you guys piss off to leak that video? Like, they just thought they were super cute back then. And it's Kanye did not call for approval. So this is Tree's official statement. But to ask Taylor to release his single, Famous, on her Twitter account. It's so weird saying Twitter now. It almost doesn't come out. She declined and cautioned him about releasing a song with such a strong misogynistic message. Taylor was never made aware of the actual lyric, I made that bitch famous. Taylor claims this is like the most dark, traumatizing time of her life because she was called a bitch. Oh, I forgot. You're just like Blake. What's good for you is different, right? So people can't say mean things about you. People can't say you're a bitch, but you can call Justin a bitch. Okay. Sorry, I can't keep up with the rules of Blake, Ryan, and Taylor. So this is the statement Taylor made that moment when Kanye West secretly records her phone call, then Kim posted on the internet. What does she say? There's an interview where she was asked about writing like mean songs about her boyfriends. And she was like, well, if they didn't do mean things, I wouldn't have to say mean things about them. Well, Taylor, maybe if you didn't say mean things, maybe if you didn't lie through your teeth, people wouldn't have to release audio to prove you're a lying bitch. All right. So she posts, where's the video of Kanye telling me he was going to call me that bitch in his song? It doesn't exist because it never happened. You don't get to control someone's emotional response to being called that bitch in front of the entire world. The audacity. I've read this so many times and it still shocks me. You don't get to control someone's emotional response to being called that bitch in front of the entire world. Oh, that's interesting, Taylor. How should Justin feel right about now? Or is it okay to say it, but, as long as you're being a manipulative, mean girl behind the scenes? So as long as you're trying to destroy someone's life behind the scenes, it's okay. And you're nice to their face. She is unbelievable. I'm sorry. She says, of course, I wanted to like the song. I wanted to believe Kanye when he told me that I would love the song. I wanted us to have a friendly relationship. She's always the victim. He promised to play the song for me, but he never did. Well, I wanted to be supportive of Kanye on the phone call. You cannot approve a song you haven't heard. Being falsely, oh, being falsely painted as a liar when I was never given the full story or played any part of the song is character assassination. I would very much like to be excluded from the narrative, one that I've never been asked to be a part of since 2009. I'm sure Justin would love to not be a part of the narrative that you and Blake created with Ryan. I'm sure he would have loved to not have had his movie taken over by the two of you and Ryan manipulating and conniving behind the scenes. This is the projection field with her, the fact that things are not, you can't say anything mean to her, about her. Well, we just learned that again because you can't say anything mean about her or you're a bot. Because the only people that would think that Taylor's not a perfect example of the most amazing human in the entire world are bots. It's just karma. I agree. Everyone that is defending them are mean girls just like them. The Swifters are bullies anyway. I see it online, and Taylor Swift loves it. She loves it. Oh, she loves it. She created them. She absolutely created them. She loves it. Yep. And they're complete bullies. You say, if I just disagree with something that Taylor did, I get death threats, called names by the Swifties and the bots. Like that in and of itself should tell you the culture that she's cultivated within her brand, which is just sickening. Okay, let's swing over. I have news. She has the nuclear bomb. If she doesn't promote the movie, she can leak that I'm a bad person or that she felt unsafe with me and all the stuff she has on me. And he uses in quotes like all the stuff, meaning like that's her words, not mine, right? Not Justin saying she has all this stuff. That matters. It's in quotes of like all this stuff that she claims to have. And then she's the victim. It's the Taylor Swift playbook. I mean, it is. So she can ask for whatever she wants because she knows I know. Travis says, what did Taylor Swift do? And he says, and fuck. Travis says, what happens if she leaks all that stuff? Is that something you're willing to stand up to in order to make your movie? Or is this a swallow your pride kind of thing? And again and again and again, isn't there power in you having all the stuff on her and Ryan as well? And Travis continues, I'm so sorry, man. This is never ending bullshit coming at you. And Justin says, Scooter, when he bought her catalog, yep. Y'all have been sold a lie. That's for another day. We've already been going for 2 hours. I'm not going to talk about today, but that's another day. Y'all have been sold a lie about what happened with Scooter. But it goes into the brand. It's always I'm the victim, especially men are bad and out to get me and to hurt me. And if you watch my video from yesterday, I talk about that as well. The psychology of her brand. Good brands have an enemy. Believe it or not. You just don't necessarily make them people. It says, started when Kanye took the mic from her and she became the innocent victim. Lots of her music is about ex-boyfriends. They know I don't have any real power. So we'll just go through this quick. So she is one of the most psychologically driven brands in the world, and she always has an enemy. This isn't by accident. So Kanye, Kim, boyfriends. Oh God, poor Joe Alwyn on X. He still gets ripped apart by the Swifties. Scooter Braun. It creates instant group belonging. So it strengthens the Swiftie loyalty. You externalize an enemy. She's always fighting an enemy. This is branding psychology 101. But here's the thing. In a crisis like this, because the Swifties have been psychologically driven to protect Mama Swift, right? Protect Taylor. She needs to be coddled. She needs to be protected. Everyone's out to get her. And the people that don't like her are bots even because now she's paid for that research. So don't listen to them. They're bots. And then the other people just hate her and they hate women and they don't want to see a woman successful. So you've externalized the enemy for so long that when there's bad PR or a situation like this, you've basically trained attack dogs. This isn't me making this shit up. It's literally branding psychology. So you've basically trained attack dogs. So the Swifties, and obviously the Swiftie bots are programmed, the 46% of her audience, almost 50% of her audience is fake, but you've trained them to automatically externalize tension. So she looks like a bad person. There's tension, right? You externalize it. Well, who do you externalize it on? You externalize it on Justin Baldoni, and you can see that already where they're leaving comments attacking Justin Baldoni. So in a PR crisis, the psychological foundation of her brand externalizes tension out. So they're immediately going to go in attack mode and attack the enemy because the brand has been rooted so deeply over the entirety of her career on seeking out an enemy. It also symbolizes what you stand for and don't, which for Taylor isn't much. No enemy equals no stakes. No stakes equals no obsession. Now, stay with me because you saw me say all brands need an enemy. We'll get to that, how to do it ethically. This is what I've been studying. Like Taylor, I use her as an example all the time. So when a brand's identity depends on an enemy, 3 things can happen. Let me just close that. Okay. 3 things can happen. 1, the audience becomes reactive rather than sovereign. So they're not asking critical questions. They're not thinking critically. They are trained to be reactive, to seek out the enemy. Number 2, and this is like also cults, by the way. Is this like making anyone think like, holy shit, this sounds like a cult? Yep. Is this the same thing that's created in cults? Yes. 100%. In politics too. Number 2, the brand stops evolving. So this is a warning. You need new villains to stay relevant. So this is also where you constantly need someone to fight. So even if she's happy in a relationship, well, she needs someone new to fight. So even, releasing the Masters, for example, it brought up an old fight with Scooter Braun. People had someone to attack again. 3, outsiders become dehumanized and targets immediately. So remember, you've trained attack dogs. So this is how fandoms turn rabid, thought leaders turn dogmatic, brands turn brittle, and cults literally develop. Now, where Taylor has walked this line, you could say well, or call it manipulative, is she weaponizes narratives without fully owning responsibility for the mob. And she never comments on it. Ethical brands don't villainize people, they villainize patterns. So, for example, if you are building a personal brand, which I hate to break it to you, your favorite streamers are a personal brand, your favorite actresses, actors, music, everyone's a personal brand if they have a platform, if they have a business, and the personal brand is the business. So instead of like this person's the enemy, use this system, this belief, this outdated narrative, this way of playing the game. That's the enemy. And it prevents it from turning into a mob mentality. All right, so that is... Oh, yeah, her fans attack Joe, Olivia, Katy Perry, everyone. Well, Katy Perry is actually another great example. She tried to come out and talk about Taylor, and Taylor turned it into a song and sent the Swifties after her. So, if you really want to look at what kind of person Taylor is, it really doesn't take a hell of a lot of work. It just takes a willingness to see it.
What I found, nobody wants to hear.